Hell yeah.
Pop culture is more than just entertainment. It's a lens into society, relationships, and human behavior. I'm Grace, and here on The Grace Report, we dive into stories beyond the headlines. Whether it's reality TV drama, celebrity scandals, or royal family intrigue, I'm here to break it all down. What it means, why it matters, and how it reflects the world we live in. Join the conversation, share your take, and let's make sense of the culture shaping our lives one story at a time. Good morning, sunshines. Happy Thursday to y'all. It's almost the weekend. I can't believe it, actually. It feels like this week has flown right on by. Listen, I have a question for you guys in the group chat. So if you guys have been tuning into the morning report all week, then you know that I've been talking about how I am hosting a first real Canadian Thanksgiving here in Paris this weekend for my friends who've never experienced Thanksgiving before. And so, this morning in the group chat, I made a list of the menu of the things we're going to be doing, right? So it's turkey. The sides are going to be gravy, cranberry sauce, mashed potatoes. I said a salad, some canapes to start as an appetizer as well, and dessert will be like an apple pie or an apple crumble, right? And I think I also said green beans would be nice, like string beans. So this is where things get a little bit funny because here's my thing. One of my friends, she's like, okay, what kind of salad? Like, can I make a tomato mozzarella salad? I'm like, is that really something we eat for Canadian Thanksgiving? Not really, but you know what? Here's the thing. Canada is a very multicultural country. So Thanksgiving looks different in different households. Like, for example, a Filipino household would add some lumpia rolls as their entrees, whereas a different household might have something else as their entree. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what? Why not bring that kind of a salad or something like that? And then I have another friend who's like, no, we're going strictly Canadian. None of that. She also had proposed a Tunisian thing, like les doigts de Fatima, fingers of Fatima. And so I said, okay, because in my mind, I'm like, it's multicultural, right? So certain like households of different cultures might, maybe a Tunisian Canadian household might have that in their thing. So, but my other friend says, no, we can't. So you know what I'm thinking of proposing? Maybe doing like baked mac and cheese or something like that as like another entree. We had some baked mac and cheese for dinner yesterday, and it was so good. So I was thinking of proposing that. My friend just sent a revised menu, but I haven't had the opportunity to open it because he sent it just as I was going live. So should I take a look at it? Let me take a look at it live with you guys, actually. Let's take a look at what this Thanksgiving dinner that my friend who's never been to Canada is proposing, right? Okay, so he says, entrée, velouté de butternut au sirop d'érable. Salade canadienne aux noix de pécan. Okay, so a Canadian salad with pecan nuts. I don't know what a velouté is. Can everybody tell me what that is? Plat, deux options. Soit en poulet entier farci au cranberge, soit enroulé d'escalope de dinde farci au cranberge, purée de pommes de terre et sa sauce gravy, haricots verts à l'ail et douce. No, I think he's got this a little bit wrong. So maybe like little turkey breasts with some cranberries. Maybe some puree. So puree is what I think we absolutely have to have that, which is the mashed potatoes and the gravy sauce. And we still get the green beans. And then the apple crumble is still there, which is good, right? Okay, so I'm happy. I don't know. Butternut squash, like as a soup or something like that. That could be interesting. I've never had it, but personally, we'll see. Anyway, I'm really excited about this. This is like a collaborative project, and we're all going to actually be cooking together in the kitchen. So it's going to be an all-day sort of an affair. Anyway, I will keep you guys posted on that. But in the meantime, thank y'all so much for joining me. So nice to see y'all. We've got Ramster, Gala. We've got Miss 19 as well. Tamara, Venetia, Becky, Amelia, Ramster as well. Are you guys really? You think Chris? Okay, well, I've never heard of these. Bam. Good morning, Ashley. Nice to see you back, boo. Nice to see you back. And I'm going to bookmark your comments, Miss Lolo, for when we get to the Cristiano Ronaldo story, because you've got me a little bit gooped and gagged, okay? Good morning, Acacia. Good morning, Kelly, Jamie, Ronnie, Kahara, Shelby, Kelly. Nice to see y'all. Money swipers as well in the house. Cammie. Terry as well. Matt, nice to see you. So let me see what y'all had to say about this Thanksgiving. Terry says you need greens, beans, tomatoes, potatoes, lamb, ram. You're not the ram. No mac and cheese. Kahara, I'm thinking of proposing mac and cheese as a little bit of an entree or something, right? Like a little baked mac and cheese. I've personally never had it in Canada, but we had one yesterday. We got it from a place called Picard, which is like where they do like, I don't know if you guys know M&M Meat Shop, something like that in Canada. I don't know what you guys have as an equivalent in US, but that's where I go for those sort of quick meals, quick dishes, and it was so good. Summer Breeze, thank you so much. Happy Thursday to you. Shelby says the spirit of Thanksgiving is celebrating with people you care about, not what's on the table. That's true. Eat all the things and be thankful for each other. Exactly. And for me, I really don't mind adding different things from other people's cultures because that's what it's all about over in Canada, mixing different cultures. Kelly says, personally, I would never turn down a caprese salad, and you cannot go wrong with mac and cheese, right? Like, it's different. I've never had it with Thanksgiving, but it could be interesting nonetheless. It's all about discovery, right? And this kind of makes me want to have a cookbook circle with my friends because we do all enjoy cooking and we enjoy cooking foods from around the world. So if we had a cookbook together and we chose, our entree, our dish and our dessert to cook together like that, on a monthly or bi-monthly basis, wouldn't that be absolutely amazing, right? Absolutely amazing. And thanks so much, Ashley. What am I doing here? Boho French curls. Butternut squash instead of yams. Okay, then. I know, I'm not sure about the butternut squash. I think I might push back on that a little bit. I think instead of that, we could do baked mac and cheese, which would be really good. My kids want Super Bowl food for Thanksgiving this year. What is that, like nachos and stuff like that? Like a little charcuterie board? Terry says, in our house, the holidays are canceled. No, we don't celebrate the colonization anyway. Still eat good, though. Listen, I feel you. And the most important is that you're eating good nonetheless. And same here, Mackie. Not Mackie, Cammie. It's absolutely delicious. Love, love, love. A cookbook, right? I would love that. So I might swing that idea with my friends. And we also love les jeux de société. We love board games, things like that as well. So I think that would be really cool. Swiss cheese fondue, little to no prep, tons of fun, very tasteful. Do you need the machine? I don't know if we have a fondue machine in our group. We have raclette machines, but I don't know about fondue, but that could be interesting as well. And Mexican rice sure is delicious. Y'all, I'm so excited about this. And, I'm happy to get the menu from my friend too. And I think I could put back some other suggestions and then we'll come to a happy medium there. So stay tuned. I'm really excited about this. You guys, we've got quite a bit to discuss in today's episode of the show. We got to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo. Y'all, I was swiping through my TikTok yesterday, absolutely shocked by this story in particular, actually, because you know how he got engaged to his longtime girlfriend, Georgina. The two of them have been together for 8 years. They've got a bunch of kids together and whatnot, right? And that was the massive controversial ring that he proposed to her with in August. A lot of people were just relieved for her. Yes, girl, 8 years in, several kids in, about damn time that he proposes to you, right? Well, here's the thing about men sometimes. Sometimes men cannot help but to embarrass you, right? And that's what Cristiano decided to do by opening up his big mouth in an interview to kind of low-key tell us that he didn't even plan to propose to Georgina and that Georgina pulled the strings behind the scenes to propose to her damn self. Take a look at it, and we're going to talk about it on the flip side, okay, you guys? This is the video right here.
And he coming in a funny way because she asked me something. She asked me for a ring to offer her because it was one of her dream to have a good stone. And I work hard, and I finally find what she love it. And I speak with my guy and I say, listen, keep it. We're gonna do it at dinner tonight. And after I'm gonna offer to her. And this is what we did. But something, after I stay with her alone, and one of my friends, they take the phone and filming, which is they never did before. I know that friends for 10 years, they never do this. Not even ask me to take a picture, imagine. And they filming me. I say, wow, weird. And after, it was 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. My daughters was in the bed, sleeping, Alana and Eva. And my friend gave me the ring to offer Jill. I was given the ring, and my 2 girls coming, and they say, Daddy, you're gonna give the ring to mom, and you're gonna ask her to be married. And I say, wow, is the right moment to say yes. I say, yes. It wasn't a timing. And Gio didn't believe. Yes, yes. I knew it that I will do it that one day.
But you hadn't planned it for that?
No. And it was the moment that my daughter's coming, and I said, yes, now is the time. This is what I want. And I offer.
Bravo, Georgina. Well played. She took matters into her own hands. Listen, normally I'd be against this, but with any Tom, Dick, and Harry, Joe Schmo, whatever, don't do this. It's not worth it. However, with a Cristiano Ronaldo, when there are like almost billions of dollars on the line, yeah, you're going to have to take matters into your own hands. And that's exactly what Georgina said, right? Cristiano has always given Georgina diamond rings. You know, if you watch her Netflix show, I Am Georgina, you always see her rocking giant diamond rings, not as big as this one, right? Or maybe some of them are as big as this one. Diamonds, emerald, rubies. She's always been given these massive diamonds and jewelry and rings and whatnot as gifts for him. They were never engagement rings. And in this interview, Cristiano said himself that he was not planning to offer it as an engagement ring. He was just giving her another diamond ring the way that he has given them to her throughout their relationship. It's just that things got a little bit strange, right? It's almost like a proposal was staged for him, right? Because first of all, it was Georgina that asked for the ring. He didn't have this idea. Hey, I've been with this lady for almost a decade. She's raising my children from before her on her own while I'm out playing soccer, right? And then the children that we have together as well. Let me go and get engaged to her. That was not his idea. Georgina wanted a new diamond and he was giving it to her. It's just that all of a sudden, as he's getting ready to give her this ring, his friend does something strange that his friend has never done in the decade plus that he's known this friend, which is that this friend started filming as if it was supposed to be some sort of a setup, some sort of big elaborate occasion, which, you know, in Cristiano's mind, it really wasn't. It was just another expensive ring he was giving Georgina. Then all of a sudden, the kids come out of nowhere saying, Dad, yes, you're going to get engaged to Mom. You're proposing. Where did that come from? Right? Georgina is a mastermind behind all of this. And I high key love this for her. Georgina, you did it, girl. But here's my worry is that these two are going to be forever fiancés. Because Cristiano, it doesn't seem like he genuinely, good morning, Deshauna, good morning, Gwen, good morning, Shay, and Ali as well. It doesn't sound like he actually wants to get married. So I feel like this is going to be one of those shut up rings, placeholder rings or whatever. Or maybe like we're engaged and that's good enough, right? Because it's a step above boyfriend and girlfriend, but he still doesn't want to get married. That's my fear about this, right? But listen, they only just got engaged a couple months ago in August. We can give them at least a year and see. But if they don't get married within a year and a half, that's what I think is going to happen in this particular relationship, right? I think it's one thing to mastermind a proposal to yourself, which Georgina did here clearly, but you can't mastermind, you know, the wedding and everything like that on your own. The man has to be a willing participant, right? So I think that's going to be a little bit more challenging for our girl, but I do think that she's going to be able to pull it off. I hope that she's able to pull it off because this is so freaking iconic. You go, Georgina. I did not think that she had it in her. She was tired of all the jokes about being a forever girlfriend and baby mama, right? Minnie says, I think she's his beard, but if it works for them, great. You know, that reminds me, I did have some comments saved to the side that I wanted to get into that some of you guys were saying about that. And Ali, I love your new photo, by the way. Let me zoom in. Y'all know I was going to zoom in on these new photos of y'all. I love that. It gets me. Oh my God, this is so cute. I love your sunglasses and everything. This is so fun. Where are you? Is this a recent photo? Like, it's that warm and nice that you're able to wear this like nice light. It looks like a linen shirt or something like that. And like, what do you call these? Radiator? What do you call them? Pilot aviator glasses and stuff. Wow, I'm jealous. Gwen, is this a picture from Halloween? It's giving, what do you call it? Dressed up as a ghost or something like that. That is so freaking fun. Did you get to go out trick-or-treating? I think you have kids, right? Did you get to go out trick-or-treating with the kids? Now, you guys, let's talk about this Cristiano being, you know, potentially in the closet, that people are hinting at here, right? So Miss Lolo from the beginning of the stream has been saying that that is the case with Cristiano. She says that years ago, he was inseparable with Rihanna to the point where people thought that they were dating. And in an interview, they asked Rihanna about the two of them. And she just spontaneously answered, quote, "Yeah, I have a lot of gay friends." Needless to say that he pretty much cut her off after that. Are you kidding me? Listen, y'all know where I gotta go. Rihanna, Cristiano Ronaldo, gay. Let me see what it says there, because I'm actually quite shocked about this. Oh, it's true. Even the French papers are talking about it. Oh my God. Yeah, she told everybody that she's got gay friends when they were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo. For some reason, though, I'm not seeing any English language articles about this. I'm only seeing French language, which is very strange. Normally I get news in, either language, but here, no. Okay, so let's, it says, she was interviewed recently by the Spanish newspaper Venetius or something like that. Ah, merde. They always want you to pay for things. If you refuse to have the cookies attached to your thing so that they can stalk you, they want you to pay. They asked her about her friendship with Cristiano Ronaldo, and she did indeed just say, "Yeah, I have a lot of gay friends." Damn, I didn't know that. Well, listen, it sounds like a sweet gig, for Georgina, whatever she's got going on. If that is the case, it's a shame that he isn't able to be himself if he is indeed gay. But sounds like a sweet gig for Georgina nonetheless. Damn. Hope she got something on the side if that's the truth. By the way, Ali left a comment. It was in regards to how I said this whole Thanksgiving debacle has me really inspired and excited and motivated to maybe do like a cook club with my friends. And she said maybe doing it on YouTube would be kind of fun too. Listen, I'll ask them, because my friends, some of them do have their own like Instagram pages where they share their recipes and whatnot. So I think this could be fun for them as well. So I'll keep you posted. What a great idea. BW is laughing at it. Gwen says, yes, my oldest was a ghost this year. The front is all muddy from the kids running around and playing before trick-or-treating started. I got to clean it today. Sorry. Oh, that is absolutely hilarious. Listen, it's such a nice, efficient, easy costume, and I love that. Terry says, well, if Rihanna's saying it, it's got to be true. I was actually quite shocked by that. I thought that it was like a rumor or whatever, but like, when I Googled it, she really did say that. Damn, Cristiano. Damn. I still like him though, but damn. Anyway, good luck to him and Georgina. Listen, I hope that Georgina is able to pull off a full-blown marriage. That would be absolutely incredible if it were the case. Now, you guys, let's get into our next story of the day. Next up, we're going to talk about Big Sean and his new girlfriend. Lord have mercy. I'm just so shocked I'm not really shocked by this story. We all knew that he and Janae Aiko were not going to last, right? I feel like the writing was kind of on the wall there. They've talked about how messy their relationship is. We know that they break up to make up all the time. She was begging him for a ring. He was refusing to get married to her and whatnot. And so it was only a matter of time before she got sick of the cycle, or maybe that he got sick of the cycle, right? And they decided to go ahead and call it quits. Recently, rumors were swirling that the two of them had broken up. And now, sure enough, Big Sean has popped up on the scene, still doing his whole rap thing. And this time he was accompanied by an unidentified, beautiful woman that a lot of people are claiming is his new girlfriend. Let's go ahead and take a look and see. Okay.
Hell yeah. I did. Everyone chat real quick. Say hi to the GOAT.
Did y'all see her? What did you think? Was it too quick? Should I put the video back up again? What do y'all think? And how do you guys think Janae Aiko is handling this news? It's got to be really, really difficult for her. I just cannot imagine the pain of your 10-year relationship ending, you guys having a kid together, and then boom, right as it's ending, you get word that your ex is popping out with a new girl already. That's crazy. Batter Harry. Was this supposed to say bad girl Riri? Ramster is Ronaldo's bestie. Ashley says he has a new girl. I know. They move quickly, y'all. They move quickly, and it's so damn sad. YouTube Addict says, good morning. I'm running late this morning. Well, no worries. I'm happy that you're here nonetheless. YouTube Addict. Hope you're having a great Thursday. And yeah, Deshauna, he really did pull an Ariana. One thing about Big Sean is that he is never single for long. He really loves to be in relationships. And his relationships do seem to be long-term relationships, right? Like his first public relationship that we knew about was with Naya Rivera. The two of them were engaged. They lasted a couple of years. Then he was with Ariana. I think that was a year or two. Then after that, he was with Janae Aiko, and that's been a decade, right? So he's good at maintaining relationships. It's just that they don't really go anywhere outside of now, having a kid together. But I do think he is the marrying type, because don't forget, he got engaged to Naya Rivera very quickly, within like a year or something like that. I think it's just not Janae that he wanted to get married to. And don't forget, you guys, Janae cheated on her ex-husband with him. So to me, it makes sense that he wouldn't want to marry somebody that he knows is capable of doing something like that, right? So I don't think that necessarily is his fault. Terry says, the hookup is going on too long. Listen, and now it's been replaced. Let's see how long it lasts with this new chick. Did you guys recognize her at all in the video? Like, any intel as to who she is? I'm going to try to do some more digging, but the video literally just came out as I was getting ready to shoot the morning report. So I have not seen any proper identification of this girl yet, right? And Ashley, I'm telling you, the rumors just started and boom, here's the new chick. Like, he wastes no damn time. Good morning, Autumn. Happy Thursday. Good morning, Crystal. Happy Thursday to you too. Yes, Terry says they are soul bonded. I feel so bad for her, but come on, girls, it's been too long to be torturing yourself for Small Sean. Small Sean is hilarious, and I agree. Listen, sometimes as ladies, we put ourselves in positions to be heartbroken, because what do you mean you're giving a man a decade of your life while begging for a ring, and then you don't have what you want, and yet you're giving him a kid? Come on, we've got to be smarter. Maria says, Google, this is someone's name, Badr Hari. Okay. Badr Hari. Where is this person from? This is a Dutch person. Okay. Dutch Moroccan boxer. And Cristiano Ronaldo. Can I tell you guys, by the way, I think the name Cristiano is so lovely, and there's not enough people who use this name. It's so beautiful. I'm actually quite surprised by the lack of popularity of this name. All right, y'all. Let me share my screen with you guys, because Ramster says we have to Google these two. So I went ahead, did the Googlation, and I saw some pictures. So let's take a look at some of these pictures that I found here on the whole googly schmoogly. Are y'all able to see this screen? Screen sharing? Okay, so I'm going to take down your comment, Ramster, as we take a look at these photos. Listen, they look like they really were close, right? This is a really, it looks like a good, nice friendship between the two of them here too. Yeah. Are they still friends to this day? They look so young. They were like babies when these photos were taken, right? But then when you get a little bit here, it's a little bit interesting. Oh, are we filling up the bulge, or are we just touching the hips? Because this is a giving bulge. This is giving bulge touching bulge, just the tip vibes. But you know what? I got to tell y'all, European guys are kind of different. They do the whole bees, the kiss on the cheek and stuff. They're a little bit more touchy than American guys and whatnot. So I don't know that I can really say too much about it, and the gay rumors and whatnot. But I will say, though, that, they're very interesting nonetheless, especially this one where the tips are touching. That's very, very interesting. Nonetheless, I got to say, I'm very fascinated by this. You guys, I really had no idea about these rumors until I hopped on today, I got to say, right? So thank y'all for this information. I'm a little bit shook right now. I really don't know what to say. I'm a little bit shook. BW says, you lose him how you get him. He was a known womanizer, period, right? And don't forget, she's a cheater. So it all kind of levels out in the end. There's so many people in the chat. Everybody, please smash the like button for Grace. Thanks, Crystal. Yes, you guys, if you're enjoying today's episode, don't forget, please, to hit the like button. Good morning, B-Wise. Nice to see you. Happy Thursday. Acacia is not surprised if that's how they got together. Exactly, right? It rarely works out well in these kinds of situations. Of course, there are cases where people do go on to have happy, healthy relationships, marriages, in relationships born out of cheating, but it's kind of the exception more so than the rule and the norm in those sorts of situations. And I imagine that there's a lot of paranoia in those relationships because they know what the other person is capable of. They know the other person cannot be trusted. Ooh, good luck to them. Good luck to you, Janae. Janae, listen, you're still a really beautiful woman. You're still a really talented woman. So I hope you come up with some good music, talking about the situation. I hope you drag him if need be. And I hope you pop out with a more powerful man. Because here's the thing about men. What are they going to try to do after a breakup, right? Famous men, anyway. They're going to try to pull the most beautiful woman, right? And listen, Janae, I still think she's gorgeous. And, I don't want to compare her, but I don't think that in this case you can go, oh my God, like he got someone weight. Like, they're both really beautiful women. So or they'll go for someone really young, right? But in women's case, I think we could do even better because then you go get someone powerful, someone who owns his record label and can end his contract, right? Something like that. So I hope she finds somebody really powerful, really rich as her payback. Anyway, you guys, why don't we get into our next story? We got to talk about my girl, Meghan Markle. She's back to acting, you guys. It's been about 7-8 years since Meghan Markle took her hiatus from the acting world, but here she is now getting ready to film a movie. The movie is going to be filmed with some other Hollywood heavyweights that you guys know, including Lily Collins, Brie Larson, and other people as well. The Sun was the first outlet to report the news on Meghan's new film because she was spotted on the set of Amazon's MGM Studios in Pasadena, California. Or sorry, should I say Pasadena, California, right? So the Insider told People magazine as a follow-up to the U.S. Sun story that Meghan was indeed on the set. And she seemed very relaxed and very happy. She introduced everyone, quote, and was very sweet and down to earth. And this film is, quote, Meghan's way of gently putting her toe back in the water and seeing how she enjoys being back on set. Everyone involved is super excited and have been sworn to secrecy about Meghan's involvement. And so the film is going to be called Close Personal Friends, and it stars Jack Quaid and Henry Golding. And it's going to be directed by Jason Orley from Big Time Adolescents as well. And I think it's cool that she's filming the parts that are, just local to her over there in California. There is going to be a portion of the film filmed in London, but I don't believe that she's going to London to film that movie. She hasn't been to London since she and her husband fled the UK, right? I don't think she has anyway. Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but she hasn't been to London in like 5 years, right? Now I gotta get on, Quinn. I got you, Terry. Batter has a criminal record. Really? Oh, damn. Sorry to hear. Oop, it's giving douche and dangerous. Oh God, I'm scared to even Google to see what that is. Yeah, she is back to acting. So she used to be on Suits for several seasons until she took a step back. For royal life for a couple of years there. Ashley says, originally I thought who would want to be with someone who just got out of a 10-year relationship, but then I seen this and it was proven wrong. You know what's even crazier? To somebody who wants to be with somebody who's still married and has all of these young kids by her husband and stuff. And that is the Cardi B story that we're going to be getting into later, because that whole story is a mess, because it turns out that her new boyfriend, baby daddy that she's pregnant by, did just cheat on her and have that other baby by that other lady. And there's another alleged baby on the way. So he's about to have 3 kids in the span of a year. A freaking mess. And I agree, Ramster, unfortunately. There's this weird obsession that people have with hating this woman for no reason. It feels like people want to drive her to suicide or something. And it's really icky overall. Kalia says, morning, everyone from the bushes. Well, listen, Kalia, good morning to you. So happy you're here. Don't get pricked by any of the thorns now. And hope you're having a great Thursday. Do you remember, y'all, how we got into that dance mom story yesterday? Well, I've got an update for you. So yesterday we talked about how former Dance Mom star Nia Sue was releasing a book, right? And it actually just got released 2 days ago on the 4th of November. And she was doing a whole bunch of promotion for her book and everything like that. And in her book, she talked about how Abby Lee Miller used to racially harass her when she was a child on the show. So things about her hair, her feet. She used to put her in these kind of racially charged, kind of racist dance numbers and whatnot as well. And quite a few people, and this is a comment that we got in my chat as well, and something that I agreed with too, which was that it's strange that her mom, being such such a smart woman, such an educated woman, why she would allow her to stay in that sort of an environment. You know, like she had her eyes wide open to what it was that her daughter was experiencing. She was there for quite a bit of it. Like, why wouldn't she have pulled her daughter from this dance studio, right? So now her mom is officially clapping back Dr. Holly at all of those complaints and criticisms in a TikTok video that I wanted to go ahead and share with you. It is just under 3 minutes long, so I'm going to let her share her side of the story. And in the live chat, you guys feel free to go ahead and continue to leave your comments. I'm going to put them up on the screen, and then we'll come back and talk about it after her video. Okay, so go ahead, take a look at what Dr. Holly had to say about her daughter's book and the criticisms that she's receiving currently.
Hi everyone, just wanted to hop on here and let you know I still am around. I'm quiet because this is Nia's moment to shine, but I see you and I see what you're doing. Some of you are being manipulative by trying to deflect the issue onto me. The issue's not me. This is Nia's story. Bottom of the pyramid is her story. Do not invalidate her experience by trying to shift the blame on her mother. Shame on you. You should be embarrassed. That is such an ignorant low blow, and it's so inaccurate. This is about someone who did not do their job. No one was hired to be evil or cruel. So let's get something clear. I'm grown. I don't owe you anything. I don't owe anyone anything. And guess what? Nia's grown too. She doesn't have to ask anyone for permission to do anything. But what she wanted to do was share her story because so many people have had questions. So many people have been touched by her experiences, and she wanted to share because she knows other people can identify and relate, and she's not alone. But what we're not going to do is manipulate the truth and a narrative to fit your own agenda because you don't want to hold certain people accountable. That is something we're not going to do. So in case you forgot, I take my keys from my kids. I've been silent. I don't need dance moms. I don't need to talk about it. As you can see, I very rarely ever talk about it. This is Nia's story, but I have to come out every now and then just to remind, we're not going to take advantage and do my kid wrong. That we're not going to do, not without me saying something. So for those of you who have supported her, have bought the book, I thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that support. I see you, I hear you. Those stories mean a lot. And for those of you who want to regurgitate information that's taken out of context or listen to people who have not even read the book, because some of you who are talking, I know you haven't read the book because I know you. So instead of talking about my kid, instead of talking about a book you haven't read, why don't you support her? Support her for the 7 seasons that she gave on a show that changed pop culture phenomenon that we all love. And stop jumping to conclusions. But what we're not going to do is talk about my parenting because I have 3 fantastic kids. I know how to parent. I also know I know how to teach. So on that note, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for supporting Nia. And please continue to buy Bottom of the Pyramid.
So there you go. Dr. Holly has officially dropped the mic. She says she does not want any kind of criticism about what she did or did not do to protect her daughter. Again, I got to be honest with you guys. I do stand by my opinion that I had yesterday and that I shared with you guys, which was that it is strange that she allowed for her daughter to go through this. And, watching her video, I think it does suck that she doesn't want to take any kind of ownership of that part of things. Of course, nobody was hired to be evil, to mistreat these kids or anything like that. And this isn't something that's unique to her and Nia, right? This is every single parent there. I do not understand why any of those mothers allowed for their children to be yelled at, berated, and whatnot on that show and by that teacher. I think that they should have been a lot stricter about the way that they handled Abby. They would push back against her and whatnot, but at the end of the day, they kept on sending their daughters to her. And that's something that I do find to be rather disturbing. And so I think it sucks that instead of taking any kind of ownership or accountability of that part of the equation, they only strictly want to talk about what it is that Abby did, right? Unfortunately, there are terrible people in this world who do terrible things, who say terrible things. And that's why it is important to also be willing to protect yourself if you're an adult, or to protect your children from these types of people, right? So by removing them from these sorts of environments. And I agree with the cat. She's deflecting. You can be a good parent, but still make mistakes. Kalia says, yes, the Laquifa dance. The name of Laquifa already there, right? Was definitely racially charged. Like, these babies don't know a thing about drag queens. Honestly, maybe it was damn if you do, damn if you don't. I don't know. Kahara says Dr. Holly ate that. Jamie says go Holly, great attitude and grace. Shelby says Holly is making herself look dumb. Abby is disgusting, but Holly, you let her be abused for whatever your reasons. Both are true, and unfortunately, I do agree with that. Chanel says, I think part of being a parent is taking accountability for when you fall short. And as a parent, she fell short by allowing her daughter to remain in a toxic environment for so long. And I agree. Abby shouldn't have done what she did at all. And that's a part of the conversation that should never be dismissed, but it is a multifaceted conversation that also includes the other parents. So not just Holly, who allowed for their children to be mistreated. These girls have been speaking out for years now about how they were traumatized by Abby Lee Miller. And this wasn't something that was happening in secrets, right? Sometimes you hear about, for example, athletic coaches or whatever, mistreating their students or this or that, and the parents having literally no idea, but this was happening in front of the parents, and the parents just did not do enough to protect them. Keisha says, we honestly don't know what convos Dr. Holly has had with her daughter regarding the issue, and that is very true as well. I really hope that they've had conversations that are helpful and fruitful for the two of them in this situation. And I wonder if Nia has asked her about that too. Why didn't you pull me out? BY says, Abby was horrible to those girls on the show. They all need support regardless of their parent. And I agree. Dr. Holly doesn't want to take any accountability. And I agree with that as well. Nia had the best dead drop. I remember, and it was indeed iconic when he also said the girls were nationally humiliated by Abby. Yeah, it was really, really difficult to watch more often than not. Nia's namesake says, by the way, I love this photo. So cool. I love the show Dance Moms, partially biased because Nia and I share the same name, but I always felt so bad for Nia. Always peeped how discriminatory Abby was, but dance is harsh, black or not, right? Winnie the Cat says two things can be true at the same time. One, what Abby did was wrong and awful. There's no excuse. And two, Holly failed to protect her daughter against a woman who was nationally and publicly abusing her. So listen, I want to know how you guys feel about that. It feels like that's the general consensus here, right? Abby's terrible, but at the same time, the other parents, so not just Nia, they should have pulled their kids out and protected them more. Milan says, what about protect your child from this kinds of things, right? So it feels like she doesn't want to have that conversation at all. She says, we're going to talk about Abby and not what we did or didn't do, which, listen, I get it, in one hand, because what Abby did was worse. It never should have happened in the first place. And she wants that to be the focus. And I get that. But at the same time, there's some questions for you ladies as well, right? And this is indeed two snaps, the dark side, dark flip side of reality television. A mess. Abby's just a disgusting person overall. Thank God she is off TV. Just saying. Anyway, you guys, listen, I gotta take a water break. I am officially out of water. Let me show you the proof. The proof is in the pudding. I am out of water. So I am gonna go run, grab myself a new glass of water. And then when I come back, we're gonna talk about Cardi B being publicly humiliated by her baby daddy, Stephon Diggs. And this story actually really pisses me off. I can't believe she put herself in this position. This guy is such a loser. Like, really, oh God, I hate this for her. And then we're also going to end it off with Jay-Z's paternity situation. There's this weirdo who's been claiming for years, over a decade, that Jay-Z is his daddy. And that paternity case has finally been dismissed with prejudice, meaning that it can't be filed again, meaning that he finally has to leave Jay-Z the hell alone and get a damn life. Anyway, you guys, all that and more on the flip side. When I get back from my little water break, we got a word from some of our sponsors. Please don't forget to go ahead and like the stream if you're enjoying today's episode of the show, and I'll catch you on the flip side. The Morning Report is brought to you by Philo. Watch your favorite shows and movies from over 70 different channels, including MTV, TLC, WeTV, and more for only $28 a month. Get a free trial today by clicking the link in the description box of this video to get your free trial up and running. Tired of learning languages in boring, frustrating ways? Try TalkPal. TalkPal is your personal AI language tutor. It teaches you languages in fun, engaging ways. It gives you real-time feedback,
assesses your pronunciation, and the learning process is personalized just for you. Join millions of other learners and start your language learning journey today.
All right, and I am back, getting ready to get into our final stories of the day, y'all. Lots and lots and lots to discuss, right? So, what are we gonna? We wanted to get into the Cardi B story, right? So, boom. Let's see. Cardi B, where are you, girl? I'm still so pissed about this. Remember, y'all, Cardi B is still married to Offset, aka Off Cheating, right? And so when she finally filed for that divorce again and whatnot, I really thought that this time she was going to stick to it, enjoy her hot girl summer and whatnot, because she just had her third child, I think it was. What does she have? She's got Culture Wave and Blossom, her third child, not too long ago. So I was expecting her to be single for a while, but then unfortunately she wound up getting with a football player by the name of Stephon Diggs. And Stephon Diggs is a bit of a dog. Think Trash Can Thompson, right? Just who said that in yesterday's episode of the Morning Report? It was so funny. A pollinator. He's just a pollinator. And so there were rumors circulating that he had impregnated a model named Eileen Lopera, right? And up until now, these were just that, rumors. But now, according to Eileen's lawyer, who confirmed to Page Six yesterday, the paternity results have come in, and it is confirmed Stephon Diggs is the father of her child. And quote, now that the child's paternity has been established and Mr. Diggs has acknowledged his daughter, my client hopes they can work toward being great parents to their child. And she had filed a paternity suit against him in LA in December of last year and requested legal and physical custody of their daughter, who was born earlier this year, just in April. You have a daughter born in April and another woman pregnant. Lord have mercy. Like, this stuff is just so weird. I just do not understand these people at all. I just know he's got fleas on his peen. Just a dirty dog, y'all. A dirty, dirty dog. It's absolutely insane. And so, of course, he is now being put on child support. And there is another woman who's also claiming to be pregnant with his child. So it's going to be interesting to find out whether or not that child also turns out to be his, because if it is the case, it means that he impregnated 3 different women in a year, which, you know, is really shameful and embarrassing. But men like this, they don't have the sense to be ashamed or embarrassed or to want to do better, right? Very, very disgusting, very, you know, upsetting. But I digress. Ramster said Cardi has met her version of a Trash Can Thompson. She sure has. Why are you even knocked up by a man? You're married. You literally are going through a divorce, and it's a very fresh separation. Why are you knocked up by the next man? You know what I mean? Like, what is this? This is what I keep calling poor coochie management, because come on now, what is this? This is foolishness. In this day and age of all the contraception, the Plan B, everything in the world, this is what you're doing? Like, come on now. 2Snap says Cardi is extremely exhausting. I agree. Some people, they just love chaos. They love drama. They love problems. They love it. And I unfortunately feel as though she might fall into that camp. Let's see what y'all gotta. Hang on one second, you guys. My chat is jumping all over the place. I'm not able to see what it is that you guys have been saying. Hang on, give me a second. Because those are the comments that I had pinned from earlier, but I haven't been able to see the new ones. Acacia says, what a mess. And I agree. This is so freaking embarrassing. It really, really is. BY says, Cardi should learn how to protect herself from these types of men. I think that she should have been single after the divorce. I recommend this for any divorced person. And I agree. Listen, unfortunately, I do think that Cardi B is a little bit low vibrational and that she doesn't really want to improve in that regard. And so I think that she, for a long time, until she seeks to be better and to do better, I think that she's going to continuously find herself in these sorts of positions, unfortunately. You know, like some people, they get rich, but like in their mind, they're still, you know, in the struggle and whatnot, and like with these kinds of mentalities. And I think that that's where Cardi is. I think she's rich, but like with a hood rat brain still. You know, and it's kind of like Jay-Z, like he grew up, he had it really rough. He was out here stabbing his uncle and stuff like that, like selling rugs. But when he got rich, he decided to level up his mindset, right? He said, I'm not going to be rich with like, with this kind of, mentality, right? I want to enrich my brain as well. And so that's how he became this massive entrepreneur and like, the one of the richest musicians out there and everything like that. And I don't know that Cardi B is capable of that, unfortunately, or if she wants to do that, right? And I agree with Winnie the Cat. What is with powerful, strong women getting with losers? It's so embarrassing. I want better for my ladies. Ashley says, all I wanted was to see Cardi single this summer. Amen. 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 This is so sad. Hey, East Awesome. Happy Thursday, Bo. Let's pray for Cardi's discernment in relationships to match her strength with naming and conceiving children. Do you think she's great at naming them? Because those names, to me, not great. I don't think it's a strength of hers, but I digress. Shout out to Jay-Z for never taking the DNA test for his alleged son, and amen to that as well. Amy says, whether Cardi waited 5 years after the offset or was the D the next day, her choices are poor. And I agree, unfortunately. I do agree. Hey, Jaleesa, happy Thursday. Hope you're doing well. Len says, I apologize to Offset for calling him out because of his behavior. I just woke up thinking Cardi's the problem for allowing this kind of man in her life. I will say, though, I don't think that absolves him. He's still trash to have been doing that. You created a family with this woman. You married this woman. And instead of being true to her and to being true to your family, you're out there thoughting and bopping. It's like she said in her song, like, these men are out here, they're too easy. He is so easy. Ew, like, you're a husband and a father, and you're out there slinging it around, laying it low, spreading it wide. You should be embarrassed off cheating. Jalisa says, I work overnights now. I get off at 9 a.m. So I keep missing these. Damn it. You must be falling asleep during the morning report. We miss you, Jalisa. BY says he is a mess. That's why he behaves this way. My mistake. Cardi is not divorced. However, she needs to remain single. And I agree. Like, this whole situation is just a mess, and it was 100% avoidable. There's just too much contraception out there for people to be ending up in these situations, truly. Men and women. This is, embarrassing. Amy says she's 100% low vibe. She's not secure with herself at all, right? I wish she were, but she is just, it's hard to say, but yeah, right? Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. Very, very sad. And it looks like you guys completely agree that the situation is just a mess all the way around. Now, y'all know what else is a mess. Speaking of paternity and whatnot, right? Let's talk about the Jay-Z situation. Oh, Lord. Good morning. And where are you in this picture? Hang on, let me zoom in. Y'all know I'm nosy. Where are you with these beautiful like statues and rocks and whatnot, sculptures? They look really, really beautiful. It looks like you're even carrying one of them. That's so funny. Where is this? This looks like fun. I wanted to get into that Jay-Z story. This is another story that's like so freaking strange, right? Jay-Z, there's a guy, I think his name is like Ramir or something. I'm going to pull up my notes, but he's been accusing Jay-Z of being his zaddy for a very, very long time. Jay-Z has been denying it, and overall, it's a little bit crazy. So let's get into it, you guys. Yes, his name is Ramir Satterwhite. And his paternity case against Jay-Z in lawsuit has been dismissed with prejudice, according to page 6. So they got copies of the court documents just yesterday, and in them it reveals that a California judge granted Jay-Z's motion to dismiss a federal paternity lawsuit filed earlier this year. Even though this man, Ramir, has been claiming repeatedly over several years now that he is Jay-Z's son, the ruling means that he can no longer file the same lawsuit or request any paternity test from Jay-Z at all. So I think that this is really great, honestly. This is too much. It's so annoying. Ramir is actually the one who withdrew his case on his own, by the way, you guys, for those of you wondering. So he said there's a lot going on behind closed doors. He hasn't stopped his fight. Quote, we got to step back and play chess, not checkers. Jay-Z obviously is calling these paternity suits harassment. Quote, the fabricated allegations and claims have been addressed and rejected in multiple other courts, right? Just in the latest of a decades-long string of harassment. I think that in these kinds of cases where somebody is constantly harassing you with something that's just not true and they're not able to prove, they should have to pay your legal fees, right? So this isn't the first, second, or third time that this guy has filed these paternity cases against Jay-Z. He's been doing it for a very long Jay-Z accused him of committing fraud in multiple courts and whatnot. And he's claiming that he's going to keep on fighting until he wins. But at this point, with the case being dismissed with prejudice, I don't see particularly how that is possible. He hasn't been able to prove that Jay-Z has even ever been in contact with his mom, let alone conceived a child with his mom as well. So the entire thing is a mess. Great question, Winnie the Cat. Let me go ahead and ask my legal eagle, okay, aka ChatGPT. Why Jay-Z? I think that for Jay-Z, he doesn't want to give any kind of credence to these sorts of things, right? So hang on, why doesn't Jay-Z take a paternity test to prove he's not Ramir's dad? And I think the basis is, well, before somebody can even be subjected to providing their DNA, because somebody like Jay-Z, like, they're not going to be giving away their DNA all willy-nilly. Before he even has to be compelled to do that, Ramir and his mom, she was doing this as well when she was alive. She's passed away since, but they would have to prove like a relationship at all. Why would I give you DNA if you can't even prove you actually know me? Do you know my phone number? No. Do you know my old phone number? No. Do you have any proof we've ever seen each other, hung out? No. So why would I give you anything, right? So ChatGPT says, because legally he doesn't have to. Courts have repeatedly dismissed Ramir's claims on procedural grounds, not on whether Jay-Z is a father. No judge has ever ordered a DNA test, and Jay-Z is under no legal obligation to take one voluntarily. Ramir was a minor when the first case was filed, and his mother's earlier filings reportedly named a different man as the father, which legally complicated things. And I agree, BR, they do look alike. And I think that that's why they're trying to go through with this, because of the physical resemblance. But, you know, a lot of us have doppelgangers. It doesn't mean we're necessarily related. Jay-Z sees it as extortion and clout chasing, and the courts have already shut the case down as well due to lack of jurisdiction, filing errors, previously settled paternity claims involving another man. So another man already claimed this child. You know, a child only has one biological father typically. So if another man has claimed him and has already proven to be the father, why would Jay-Z be the father as well? It's just not physically possible. And he says that ruling says he can't do it in federal court if he withdrew it and allowed the court to dismiss it with prejudice. So he can't raise it in federal court again. It's because there is a deal. All right. East Awesome says, Maury Povich, in the case of 33-year-old Ramir Sean Carter, the paternity test says nothing because you settled out of court to withdraw your course. I haven't seen anything about settling. I think that he just keeps winning on jurisdiction. And again, the mom already named a different man. The different man already accepted and acknowledged paternity. So it doesn't leave room for Jay-Z to be a possible father. Shelby says, wouldn't it be simple DNA test for it? It would, but a lot of people are weary about giving their DNA. In fact, I was having a conversation about this with some friends about, I have some friends who have done those 23andMe tests to find out a little bit more about like their heritage and whatnot. And, I personally, I'm not sure that I would do one of those tests. I don't know. Like, I feel like even though Google and Apple, they've got so much of my info and whatnot, the idea of actually just giving away your DNA to a company for them to have that level of information or whatever, like there's something spooky about it, right? So maybe he's one of those people who doesn't like that. Amy says, well, the real mom would have been a minor if that was his son and he messed with her, so it would be too risky. That too is a possibility. Procedural grounds. Yep, that's true. Exactly. It's procedural grounds that these have been dismissed on. When he says, I get both sides at the same time, I just feel the DNA would stop it at its tracks. And I agree. I do get his side too. I would want to get it over with if he knew there was nothing to worry about. And exactly, y'all. Between this and the Cardi B story, we kind of low-key need Maury for celebrities because they got a lot of messy paternity drama going on themselves. YouTube Addict says, I thought these were different people going after him for paternity, shaking my head. This guy should do a 23. Well, why doesn't he do that, right? Go do your little 23andMe. You could do that on your own. See if you're related to people who are related to Jay-Z. He possibly has family members who did this. If you find them on your thing, then try to find another way to go after him, right? But I don't know. It kind of feels like, just based off of you guys' comments, it kind of feels like some of you guys do think that this potentially could be Jay-Z's son. So let me go ahead, put a picture of him up again. Again, his name is Ramir. But I'm reading that it seems like a couple of you guys do think that this could be Jay-Z's son. Dun, 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 dun. Amy in particular is saying the settlement is covered under a non-disclosure agreement. You wouldn't hear about it, or you won't hear about it. Otherwise, the son will be sued again and he will lose the money. Jay probably paid him to stop chasing him. Dun, 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 dun. Well, damn. Very sad if it's the case, but it is true. He does look a lot like him, like a softer version of Jay-Z. Exactly, Shelby. Listen, you know, we're not all willing to give our DNA away like that. You're going to have to pluck my hair off my pillow when I'm sleeping if you want my DNA, because I'm not giving it to you voluntarily. Anyway, you guys, that does it. Another episode of The Morning Report. As usual, I had a great time chatting with y'all. And listen, I'm going to continue on this Thanksgiving adventure with my friends, figuring out this menu, and I will give you guys the final report before the dinner tomorrow. And then I'll give you another report after the dinner. And again, thank you to Allie. Yes, it was Allie. Thank you to Allie for the suggestion of having my friends come on the channel, do some cooking videos with me. I'm going to talk to them about that and see if that's something that interests them. Ashley says, I feel bad for the guy. He will never get the complete closure to know for sure. Exactly. Listen, you know, I do think his mom should have gone about things better. But if what Amy's saying about an NDA and a settlement, like hopefully that'll, you know, help at the very least, right? What is probably conceived at a Diddy party? Lord have mercy. Listen, it's time for me to get out of here, you guys. It's time for me to get out of here. And unfortunately, you're right, B-Wise. Bye, Kelly, Ramster, Winnie, Acacia, Shelby, Amy, everybody. So nice to see you. Ashley, YouTube addict, B-Wise. It's been so great chatting with you all. Thanks so much for being here. Ciao, East Awesome, everybody. Take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for this week's final episode of The Morning Report. Bye.